Hey everybody, I'm Scotty J, and welcome back to Rock Titan Live. Got a phenomenal guest with us right now. Yeah, and the funny thing is, ever since this social distancing kicked in, I've actually been spending more time over in Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Finland than I am in the United States. But we've got one of the most awesome guitarists on the planet Earth right now. You know this dude from Backyard Babies and the Hellacopters, among other things. Dregen. Dregen, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you. That was a what a presentation.
Well,
I'm
you know,
flattered.
I try to be professional, but at the same time, I am being very sincere. I'm being very sincere. You've been doing this a long time.
Yes.
It's hard to believe that you and I are like so close to being the same age, but man, you've accomplished way more in your life than I have, man. I feel like a
Oh,
waste.
oh.
I feel like as if being a very accomplished musician, that you are, and an author at this point, because I know you wrote your autobiography not too many years back. Now you're getting into the alcohol business, man. You got a new beer out there, and
Ye-
yeah.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, it happened in a, well, we all know the situation right now with the coronavirus kind of thing, so for
Right.
me, pretty much like everything stopped, like everything, not like, that you can work a little here and there, like it's 100% like all tours, all gigs are canceled.
I
And,
know.
I'm trying to keep myself busy, and then I've been actually, I've been asked before to do a branded beer, but it never really clicked with any of the breweries. But then I went to have a meeting with they call Jämtehed and Brande. It's a small microbrewery up north in Sweden, and they are actually only like three guys running that company, and it's one professional chemist and two old punk rockers. So I was like, that sounded good.
Well, it's
Um,
important. It's important to have at least one person that knows what they're doing when it comes to this stuff. But I would be remiss, if I did not bring up and emphasize how grateful I am to our mutual friend Jesper Lindgren from Velvet Insane for making this introduction. And I know that you and Jesper, have basically been collaborating on Riff Beer, and what a name, especially for a guitarist.
yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Actually, my son's middle name is Riff. So
Of course.
yeah, and well, I was looking for a hooky name for a beer, and I love, who doesn't like good guitar riffs, and who don't want to drink a bottle riff, a
Right.
great bottle of riff, so.
Everybody's got to have a bottle of Riff. So,
Yeah.
again, when I'm talking about Jesper from Velvet Insane here, did he come to you about this? How did that meeting, how did that collaboration take place when it came to doing this beer?
Well, actually, I did the kind of the same thing, but in person, as we're doing right now, because Jesper is writing for a Kiss fan club magazine called Destroyer, which is I think Kiss Army in Sweden. And I'm grown up with, I have a lot of things to thank the band Kiss for, because well, I mean, without them, you and me wouldn't be sitting here today. They more or less, like when I was a kid, that was the first step into getting uh, not obsessed or almost possessed by music.
Okay.
So so actually we did an interview, and then he just mentioned that he is his friends having a brewery up there, and and I was, wow, and we were talking a bit, and like I mentioned to you, I've been asked the question before, and it's been slightly bigger corporate bigger breweries, and it seems like it's almost the same as with record companies. The bigger they get, kind of like the less freedom, and the more boring they get in a way. Like it's kind of like, not. I mean, get me wrong, but it's kind of like it's more about statistics and making numbers and selling. And these guys are more, it's handcraft, and they love what they're doing. They let me totally decide, and that's typical like my personality. It's not just like a beer that it's just Riff, and then it's like Lager by Dregen, and that I haven't tasted or anything. I've been up there and we've been trying out the hops, how much malt, how much sugar, how much salt, like everything. So I'm involved like 100% into it, and it's very fun. I mean, I always loved beer, of course, but I didn't know actually that it's such a, I should say, like handcraft.
Science. It's science.
I know, I know, but it's So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's Riff is a lager beer,
okay.
5.6% alcohol, and it's kind of like, I wouldn't say I am, you may be not seeing me as a conservative guy, but when it comes to beer, I am kind of like, old school.
Dregen, I have no doubt you are the most conservative guy in the world. I don't have a doubt in my mind. But no, I'm curious.
No, but I just think that lager beer has got the last like 5 years like a little bit of a bad reputation. It's all about these like hop beers, and it's IPAs and all this, so I want to take the fucking lager back, so
everything's IPA these days. Everything is like IPA. I don't get it because I'm not a real big bitter beer guy myself.
Yeah, same here. But I mean, I can get some lager might be kind of like boring. I mean, even when I was a kid, what was that? I learned one of my first like English jokes was something about like what's the similarity to Budweiser and paddling a canoe, I think it was.
So you're a comedian too, on top of everything else.
You're fucking close to water,
man. Yeah, no, that's interesting. So it was a very conscious decision for you, and I guess did Jesper have a hand in deciding to go with a lager versus say an IPA or a stout or a porter or anything like that?
No, I think that I was pretty clear on that. I wanted to make a lager, Right. And make a lager without being boring. This is it's gonna be a hell of a great riff.
Yeah, man, the best riffs. Just like the kind of things you make with Backyard Babies and the Hellacopters, without a doubt. Now, has there already been any thought, like with this being your first beer that you're putting out there, are you looking at expanding and
Oh, no, this is just like a kind of like a fun side thing and have something to do in this, social distance kind of thing, I'm trying to keep myself busy, and this is kind of like, it was a fun thing. So I think that actually I'm going to, it's not that I'm going to I'm not going to quit music or anything,
But it's always nice to have, your hands in multiple places, because, why not? You could be like the next great, entrepreneur, of all these different things that you have going on. But it's funny that you just brought up the social distancing, because I know you and I were originally slated to chat a little bit earlier, but I heard you had to catch a train.
Yep.
How in the world does that work right now, man?
No, I don't know. Like in Sweden, things are. It's not as, of course, it's not as normal, But we are. You can catch a train, you can catch a subway, you can grab a taxi, you can do basically. I can go out to the pub right now, but we have a thing that we are trying to keep 2 meters away from each other, and that's pretty normal winter time in Sweden anyway. But it's pretty free here. It's I don't know if it's good or bad, but as long as people are taking their responsibilities and stuff, I think it's. I don't really believe in shutting down the whole society. I think that the hangover from that can actually be worse than the actual virus itself.
Right.
It's a lot of. It comes with depressions and whatnot.
Well, especially for an artist like yourself, and I've talked with so many musicians lately and just people involved with the entertainment business as a whole. And I mean, the toll that it's taken on you guys, I mean, it's insane because I mean, you obviously you make the music and then you got to go out and support the music in the form of touring, you know? And I mean, that's
Yeah.
really the bulk of how you guys are living these days. And then you have so many other people associated with what it is to tour. You know, you've got the managers and the sound techs and just
Hmm.
everything. There's so many different things, and everyone is going down with this. So, you know, I
Yeah.
know that you guys are itching to get back out there, and I saw actually that you had some tours lined up with, I guess, the Hellacopters earlier. I guess you wrapped some stuff up with them, and you were looking to do some stuff with Backyard Babies as well. And of course, everything got shelved. But
Hmm.
insane. Now you're a stylish guy, Dregen. You're a very stylish guy. So I'm just curious. Now you got to be covering your face, obviously, when you're out in public. Do you have like your own custom scarf or anything like that that you wear?
Boring. Actually, we don't have to do that in Sweden either. We don't have to
Really?
cover, you know. Um,
Wow.
so it's long as you keep 2 meters away from.
That's wild.
Um,
Very
yeah.
interesting. Very interesting. So I guess.
I don't. But I don't know if if this is working out for us. Let's see.
Well,
But of
do you
course,
know anyone?
if
Do you know anyone
well,
that's gotten sick?
what's that?
Do you know anyone that's gotten sick?
Yeah, I have two not friends, but friend of a friend that
Okay.
actually. So and one guy actually passed away. So
Oh
it was
no.
actually a radio like a radio guy, a radio profile here in Sweden.
Oh my God.
Um, and the other guy is feeling better, but he was also having the Parkinson disease. So I think that a lot of the people that
Wow.
yeah. So, but yeah, so two people that I know. Yeah.
Good grief. Well, again, everybody, we're here with Dregen, world-renowned guitarist from the Hellacopters and Backyard Babies, and definitely want to get into some of that. I just heard a little rumor the other day. Maybe it's not so much a rumor because it wasn't a pretty big, a big publication that the Hellacopters is going to be working on some new music, huh?
Yeah, it's funny that I just found out that that it was actually out. That's how we work in this band. It's just it's never been a secret, but I guess that nobody asked us. We actually been recording up and
Okay.
over the last year almost. But trying to see the glass half full. With this whole Corona situation.
Right.
For like I haven't been having a summer off since 1994. Because the summers have been
Wow.
festivals. So I'm gonna spend time at home for the first time since '94, and also we are spending time in the studio with the Helicopters recording, and and otherwise we would have been on tour right now. I think we would have been in Finland or something today. So
Wow.
there is not. We have to as we say in Sweden, like dig where we stand. We gotta you gotta make the best out of the situation.
I like that.
So we started to work. So I mean, the good thing is that it's going to be a new Helicopters album out sooner than it would without. So thanks to the virus in a way.
Hey man, you gotta when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, or even better yet, hard lemonade. Maybe you and Jesper get together and you make a hard lemonade on top of the beer that you're doing.
Yes.
You never know.
Okay.
But I
Yep.
imagine a guy like yourself, being the artist that you are, you've probably been doing a lot of writing during this time. Would that be accurate?
A lot of what?
A lot of writing. Like, have you been doing a lot of, just creative writing, new material and things of that nature?
Yeah.
Like, even apart from, the Helicopters work, have you been doing any new solo work or anything like that?
I mean, I'm trying to concentrate at one project at a time. So
Oh, okay.
basically, right now it's only like focus on the Helicopters album. But there's going to be more solo stuff as well. I've been kind of like, to be totally serious in that question. It's been easy to record stuff and work that way. But writing wise, I don't know why it's because I think that now there's a lot of time, but everybody has a lot of time. So it's kind of weird to write now because everything just stopped. So I think that I find more inspiration when I am the guy that can just, when everything is more like normal, because everything is so fucked up now, so it's even tilted me a bit.
All right. So, unlike myself, you do not
Hmm.
have ADHD. You have the ability to focus on one project at a time. Because I am all over the place.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like you know, there was supposed to be a tour with Backyard Babies as well, and the Helicopters, and a new beer, and some solo stuff. So I don't know what letters I have in my combination of, but yeah.
Yeah, one thing I'm curious about, Dragon, the music community in Sweden, because I know the music coming out of there is incredible. I mean, the stuff that you guys do at large, within your country and in Norway and Denmark and Finland. I mean, there's just amazing rock and roll, metal, everything coming out of that neck of the woods. How tight are you with like some of the other bands? Like for instance, a band like Velvet Insane. Do you guys interact much? I mean, do you kind of have like an open line of communication with everyone, or do you guys just kind of isolate
Mm,
yourselves, taking things on by yourselves?
yeah, no. We have a kind of like community, but I guess like with everything, it's more like like those guys are up from north in Sweden. It takes like with a train, it's almost like an 8-hour train ride. So
Oh wow,
so it's more I guess that we're hanging more with the Stockholm-based bands.
right on.
Yeah, and then you got the Gothenburg, but it's all like a big community, and even over the cross countries as well. Like we hang out with the Turbo Negro guys, so like, and it's kind of like it's a good vibe. It's
That
always been a good vibe, I think.
Very cool. Yeah, no, I have to agree with that. Now, another thing that I'm curious, because a guy like yourself, you're relatively high profile, so I can see where a lot of people would try to kind of ride your coattails or, kind of take a little bit of your steam in some ways. And what I'm getting at is this, because I trolled you, dude. I trolled you big time. And I noticed that some fool out there is trying to sell a handbag and they attached your name to it.
How did you see that?
I saw
My
that,
God.
man. What is up with that?
I don't know. It was actually my girlfriend who's like, "Well, what is this?" There's got to be just a fucking, I don't know, some glitch in the internet or something. It's really weird because the other dude's name, he is kind of like, I don't know, a Swedish kind of like Justin Timberlake or something over here. So it's just, I mean, the thing doesn't make any sense at all.
I hope you're
Uh,
getting some royalties from that at the very least. How dare they attach your name to that, especially a purse? You
Yeah,
know?
I know, and the purse looks like, I don't know, like a dried fig or something. I don't know what it
Oh
looks.
man.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So here's something else that that's kind of funny. Because we've been talking about all the different kinds of projects that you're in, and I'm going to admit, Jesper put me up to this, man. He put me up to this, so I'm not just licking this off the grass. Yeah, I didn't come up with this on my own. But apparently, you got some world famous bacon and fish dish that you're working on. Have
Bacon. Oh,
ha-
yeah, 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 yeah.
you
Well,
got
I
something going on
actually,
with bacon and fish? What is this all about?
oh, you got like you got information
I got
like
information.
you
Yeah.
got, yeah. No, but that's actually, that's, I think that is Jesper's thing. Like no,
Okay.
he cooked. He
Okay.
cooked me dinner, and it was just an amazing dish. And yeah, and and apparently there was fish and bacon mixed,
Okay.
and it
I was
was.
I was under the impression that it was your duty to become like Emerald, or one of these world class chefs, and put this bacon and fish
Oh,
dish together yourself. But this was actually Jesper's.
I think this is total. It's only on Jesper. I'm just,
Oh.
I'm just handling the music and beer.
Well, which is a very good thing to handle, man.
Yeah.
Like our Viking ancestors. I mean, they made some great ale and mead. I actually tried mead out for the first time the other day, and
Hmm.
I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. I was a little disappointed. You know, I mean,
Hmm.
I knew it wasn't carbonated, but I didn't know it was just going to be like wine. At the very least, I thought it would be something more like a I don't know, like a bourbon or a
Yeah.
brandy or something like that. But is it safe to say that you are a beer guy? That is your thing.
No, I'm pretty much all over the place, to be honest. Like but yeah, I, but I enjoy wine.
Okay.
I enjoy, like drinks as well. Cocktails. Like, but if I have to, stick with one thing, beer. Yeah.
All right, cool. Now, I know you got to get going because you are 6 hours
Yep.
ahead of me over there in Sweden. But
Yep.
any message in particular that you would like to share with your fans, be it people that are fans of the Hellacopters, Backyard Babies, everything that you've done, just the Dregen fan base, the world at large. Anything you'd like to tell them?
Well, I mean, first of all, if you're into rock and roll music, try, check out Backyard Babies. It's actually Sliver and Gold. The album Sliver and Gold,
Right on, man.
which is and check out the new Helicopters album. It should be out um, in about fairly not too long from here. We are recording right now, and trying to order a beer or two from Riff Lager. Having a beer coming out, and it's going to be out like in about 4 weeks.
Okay. All right. Very good to know. All right. Well, again, everybody, we are here with Dregen from Backyard Babies and the Helicopters. Make sure you go check out the new beer that he's talking about, Riff Lager, that he did in collaboration with Jesper Lindgren from Velvet Insane. And Dregen, thank you again so much for joining us on the
Thank you
show,
so
man.
much, and see you. All right, see you on tour.
All right,
Take
brother.
care and stay healthy.
All right. I'm Rock
All right,
Titan Scotty J. We're
bye
out.
bye.